subject for tonight's discussion is there a beat generation?
We viewed the South by Southwest EDU panel as an opportunity to have an hour to talk about our respective disciplines. We have a moderator who's very relatable to the viewer, somebody who kind of has spoken to people from all walks of life and isn't impartial to one discipline. Will help tease out from my art perspective, Matt's architecture perspective, and Laura's neuro background, kind of all these various topics that kind of overlap or move away from one another. It's interesting, I actually had started off as a neuroscience major in my undergrad, so I think this is part of how Dr. Colgin and I did kind of come together, because when we were talking about her research, I had a bit of an understanding simply because I had this very varied background. Originally it was going to be between Dr. Colgin and I, but the more she was talking about her experiments in her lab where she kind of has rats navigating mazes and things, I thought, oh, Matt being an architect, like he views space from such a pragmatic, way. His specialty is lighting, zones of light, zones of privacy, being aware of natural to artificial light. They both have these particular areas of their practice that happen to coincide, with my work. I had gone to liberal arts college for my undergraduate degree, and I was used to taking classes in both the science, and art departments. Most of my studio credits in undergrad were actually in architecture, so I had this sort of natural affinity to kind of working and meshing among various disciplines. And then after graduating, I moved to New York City, and I was part of a studio collective called M.F.A in Brooklyn, New York. And it was 7 floors of roboticists, architects, artists, writers, small businesses. And so I was used to being among people from all different kind of walks of life, experiences, specialties, disciplines, and working among that environment. And one of the reasons I came to UT is because I know that it has a reputation as a research university. I like the idea of staying among that type of environment. I feel like my work had always been rooted in ideas of contortion of space. What is physical or concrete, and then how does that exist in digital spaces today? For example, I made this one piece called Diffraction, where light was navigating a vertical channel, but just by having the distance of the light put at a particular place, it navigated the vertical channel and then spread out horizontally. And it's a simple principle of, diffraction, but to me that was such an interesting moment. For us, space is kind of one of our the primary things we're considering when we're perceiving, visually, like that's probably what we view as our dominant sense. My work can lead to more questions. I'm kind of in this privileged position being an artist that, I can kind of make inquiries into perception, but I don't have to have an answer.